Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Now celebrating 17 years of broadcasting success, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, both for our radio audience and those tuning in online. We're glad you all could be with us as well. We're excited to welcome actor Wolfgang Weber to our program today. Wolfgang is not only celebrating a great career, including a new project called Interpreters is out now, but also we're going to talk to him about the journey, what it's been like for him to do what he loves, and, of course, be able to share that experience with all of you. If you guys are not following him on social media, of course, we'll let you know where to find him there and how you can stay connected with all the updates. But, Wolfgang, thank you so much for the time today. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Well, glad to do it. So I want to begin with an interesting post you made. It was funny when I was prepping for this segment, as you kind of were reflecting on 2019 and how it was good and how 2020 was starting off to be a good year. And then, of course, we know life happened to all of us, Wolfgang, but you still had some bright spots right in there, including Interpreters that's out now. What has that reflection been like for you to kind of look at what you've been able to do both personally and professionally in your life?
Well, everything, we just kind of had no choice, it seems like, but to just stop everything. And for those who are listening, or those who are at least, interested or work in the entertainment industry, like it's a constant go. Like when you're in LA and you're hustling and bustling, trying to run from audition to audition and work. And then all of a sudden you're just forced to, stop. You kind of sit back, and when you really don't have a choice but to get creative, and my day job, obviously I own a drone aerial production company. So I provide aerials and stuff for film and television that kind of keep food on the table, obviously, as well as auditioning and whatnot. But I was just kind of set back, and I just started creating, I'm kind of putting on the director's hat right now, and I'm writing stuff and just trying to be productive while everything's still kind of shut down, But that's kind of how I've been just enjoying time off, I guess. Because usually when Hollywood's up and running and, like I was saying, everything's, in full force, we really don't get any downtime. The city really doesn't shut down until, Christmas. And even then, December, I always remember whenever I booked out with my agent, December 18th to January 4th, you're pretty much in the clear of not getting any calls. So that was I always look forward to just taking a breather. But now, it's been months,
Right.
So.
Right.
But yeah.
You bring up an interesting thing, though, Wolfgang. I think because a lot of times, we all are so busy, and I've been hearing this from other people too. That, it is, of course, it's unfortunate that there is, the downside to what's been happening this year, and that is people being sick, some people losing their lives. But that reflection has definitely been a big part for a lot of people. But also, I think the appreciation. Have you found that to be true for you? That because a lot of times, because you are so in it, you don't really think about it, right? You just are doing what it is that you do. What has that appreciation been like for you to kind of look at how you've been able to do work that you love, but then also, of course, be able to build this tribe of support around it?
I appreciate it. I'm trying to understand the question. I appreciate basically basically just stopping the race, I guess, because we always refer to it as a race, but I just feel I appreciate the time. I'm a father now. I have a 1-year-old, and before all this went down, I was just running around and leaving my wife at home while I'm out shooting and back and forth. And it really makes you reflect on what's really important. And obviously family comes first, and I really appreciate the downtime. And I don't know, I realize it's not as important as what we make it out to be. It's just not. We're chasing this thing, this imaginary thing, and success. And I feel like we live in this society where we're constantly pushing this hustle mentality, but we're not truthfully, I don't believe we're designed for this hustle mentality, but that's all that's being fed to us is that rise and grind, like nothing against Dwayne The Rock Johnson, but I mean, he gets up at 4 a.m., yada, yada, yada. He goes throughout the day and he's going crazy, but the thing is like, he's also got a team behind him as well. But like when you're trying to push this message on people such as myself, I don't really have a team behind me. It's just me behind a computer, a keyboard, or a camera, just trying to do my thing. But it's good to just relax,
Yeah.
And I'm just really enjoying the time, especially with my family and having a 1-year-old now. It really puts things in perspective on, if it's okay to turn down an audition, like stuff like that. It's okay to say no. We're always like so afraid to do those things. But I hope I answered your question, but I'm just glad to have downtime.
Right. No, you did. I want to talk to you about the creative process game because I think, and as you said, you kind of are able to benefit in some respects from the best of both worlds, both of the creative side as an actor, but as you said, also, of course, now moving into directing, but also, of course, the work you're able to do, with as a business owner, right? I mean, with your drone company. So have you always known that creating was something that you wanted to do, that you wanted to be in some form a creator?
No, actually. Before I got into anything entertainment, I was actually enrolled in pursuing a career in mechanical engineering. Like that's what I was following my father's footsteps. That's where I thought that's where I was going to go. And then it wasn't till, I'm dating myself now, but I think like 2003, my brother's former ex-girlfriend at the time, she was a producer for some production company. She just asked me to be in a music video, and obviously I wasn't paid for anything. I just showed up on set, and it was kind of then, after that whole day of just being on set, I really was debating whether I was making the right choice on pursuing engineering. So, I mean, here we are, I'm 37 now, but like I ended up changing directions and getting into the creative side. Obviously acting, enrolled in an acting school. Parents weren't very happy about that. Dropped out of engineering, and I got booked on a show called on CTV called H2O. It was a 4-hour miniseries, and super small role, co-star, might have had 30 seconds of screen time, but that kind of started the way for me in regards to acting, and it just started unrolling. And then I didn't realize I was even creative, and then acting, I came to Florida. People were all surprised why I moved to Florida instead of LA or New York right away. And my parents wouldn't let me. I mean, my parents were very protective of me. And I was 21. They still were like, you don't know LA or New York, go to Florida. And the reason I went to Florida is because it was the second home to me. I've been vacationing here ever since I was a kid. And that's kind of where it started. And I just started getting in front of the camera and started really pursuing that career. And then, once, I think, what year was it? I think like 2015, I kind of just stopped. I kind of got a little burnt out with auditioning. I had a lot of close calls with, in regards to booking things. I was on hold for a month for a Jason Statham movie. I ended up losing the role to actor Milo Ventimiglia. I had so many like close calls of getting on these big shows, and I got so frustrated, I just stopped. And that's what made me kind of like sit there and reflect on because when I first got out to LA, I was very hustle mentality, right? So I really wanted to go after it. I was so focused. And then, after several no's and little parts here and there, and getting so close to these, these big studio gigs and not getting it because of this guy had more experience or he's got a bigger resume. I just had enough, and that's when I kind of stopped. And then I thought to myself, I was like, what did I really enjoy doing as a kid? What did I really want to do? And I used to build like RC cars and RC planes and boats and stuff like that. My grandfather flew RC boats, and the drone thing was a thing. Was like just getting going. I just bought a drone and for fun, and it just turned into a job. But I got rid of all my agents and managers at the time, and I ended up getting more acting work by being a drone operator than I was having an agent or a manager. And it was, in my opinion, I think it's because I was bypassing all the noise, basically. So whenever I was on set as a drone operator, I would skip the whole casting process. I would just meet directors and producers, and upon dropping footage, after a day of shooting, I would talk to directors and producers, and there's usually a conversation that kind of goes like, "Oh, Wolfgang, is that your real name?" It's like, yeah, it's my real name. So, drone, is this what you do? I was like, well, yeah, but I'm also an actor. And they're like, oh, and they would kind of give me the once over, look me up, and they're like, really? Do you have a website? It's like, actually, here's my website, demo, resume. What do you need? They're like, okay, whoa. And then it would kind of get into. I started working with these directors and interpreters with how I got booked. I droned a music video for Michael Ryan. I think a year and a half or 2 years prior to filming, and when he posted about the audition, I shot him an email and was just like, hey, I don't know if you remember me, and Wolfgang, I flew the drones, but if there's anything available for the role, let me know, I'll audition for you. And he actually was like, yeah, sure, here's audition for this, and I guess the rest is history.
Amazing.
So I got that all out on you. I just started rambling.
Well, no, that's fine. Wolfgang, you said a couple of things I want to go back to. But I want to say for those who are just tuning in on the radio side or online, you're listening to Conversations Live. We're excited to welcome Wolfgang Weber to our program today. We're talking to Wolfgang not only about his journey as an actor, but also, as you heard him just talk about his drone company, being able to also to make it, as a business owner as well. So I love the fact, though, that you were able to use your drone company as a doorway, as a gateway, so to speak, into a lot of these opportunities. So I want to ask you, what do you think gave you the courage to do that? Because some people would have been too shy or too afraid to say, I don't want to rock the boat, I don't want to mess this one thing up. What do you think gave you the courage to say, you know what, yes, I do this, but I'm also, I do this. I have a love for this too.
It was, I was just confident in what I could do. I knew if given the opportunity, I knew I could prove these, directors and producers that I'm completely capable of being in their film, and I just feel like I accidentally bypassed, for lack of better words, just the bullshit. I just bypassed it, and I didn't even mean to. That wasn't my intentions of flying a drone to get in through it. It just happened, and I on set, when you're on set as an actor, you're treated differently than when you're on set as part of the crew or camera or anything. It's just actors are just we're typically put in our trailers, and we kind of don't really, mingle on set as much until we're called in to do our scene, and then we do our scene and we go home, and then every set's different, but that's been kind of my experience from being an actor, from booking. Being on ABC or CTV or Fox or anything, that's kind of been my experience as a guest star or something coming on. You're in and out, and then you go. Or crew, you're there 10 hours a day, so you can't help but talk to people and mingle. But once this started happening, I knew I had something valuable as a drone operator because I got on early in 2015. Yes, drones were a thing. We've been flying drones, but it was still new. And when DJI came out with their flagship drone, the Phantom, people were really all over that. And I was getting paid to be there and just hang out on set. And once I knew I had value, that's when I started offering it. And I would be like, look, to bring a drone team in here, it could cost you $3,000 to $10,000 a day. I'll charge you a fraction of the price. Put me in your movie. And literally, directors would just give me the script and be like, "Oh, what do you want? Obviously, we can't give you the lead because offers are out. But I mean, what would you like?" And that's when I started, using it to my advantage. And then a lot of the movies, to my credit, the Lifetime movies, the Interpreters, or any movie prior to that. If you go on IMDb, I'm literally the drone company as well. So I just started using it as my leverage. My drone is my agent.
Well, amazing. Well, look, hey, it's worked, and that's the great thing. I mentioned Interpreters earlier. Amazon is one of our partners here at Conversations Live, Wolfgang. So, and that is one of the places people can see Interpreters. Talk to us about that project. What was that like for you? Because you've kind of been able to do this great mix, of sci-fi like Interpreters, but also, of course, drama as well. So what was it like for you being a part of Interpreters?
It was great. Working with Michael before, obviously on one of his music videos, I got to know him a little bit. But Interpreters is just one of those things where independent, low budget, but it was just for 28 days. It just felt like family, to be honest with you. Like, we were just all there. Everybody was just so driven to make and finish a movie, and I had so much fun. I mean, I was Michael. I mentioned in one of my other interviews that Michael let me use the picture car. So I played Deputy Wilson, kind of like this young cop, new to the force, trying to really earn his reputation and really trying to impress his lead officer. And Michael just, like, he would just give me so much freedom. And when they had the picture car, the police car, Michael let me take it to and from set just to let me feel out the character a lot more. I mean, I really have nothing negative to say about that experience. I was so grateful just to be a part of it. And right after spending 28 days, I was there for 14 days, and then I got married right afterwards. It was crazy. And then I lived with Chris Creesa. I don't know if you know actor Chris Creesa. We were put up in an Airbnb up in Redding, California, and we shared he came with me on the drone shoots, and then we shared so many stories because Chris is he's been in, I think, over 100 movies, Castaway being one of them, and I was just learning so much from this guy. And then, I mean, I had a great time. And then living in Redding, being in Redding for that time, such a small town that I'm sure no one really knows of, that's way 12 hours north of Los Angeles, right?
Right.
But it was great. A lot of fun.
Well, I'll tell you, it has to be an exciting thing to be able to do different types of things in front of the camera, as, of course, in your work, too, with your company, Wolfgang. And that, I think, as we kind of come full circle with our conversation here, is one of the reasons why I think, being able to find something that you enjoy definitely means a whole lot. Last thing I want to talk to you about, and I appreciate the time, is about what I mentioned about the tribe, because you have been able to have followers now that have kind of, come along for the ride. What has that been like for you to go from, watching projects and being a fan of others to now having your own fans?
It takes a little getting used to. To say that I have fans, it was, in the beginning it was kind of odd. It's just something you can never get used to. But I consider more of the fans more or less friends. I message everybody back. I thank everybody. It's been great. I feel super lucky just to have, people interested in my work, and it definitely gives me it definitely encourages me to keep creating and showing people a different side that I can, a different side of me, whether it's acting or, kind of being an entrepreneur and then eventually directing things. It gives me a platform just to showcase what I can do and maybe down the line help people, just encourage people that, if I can do it, they can do it,
Right. Well, it's a great reminder for all of us. Again, everyone, Wolfgang Weber has been our guest. Great conversation with you, Wolfgang. We've been talking with him not only about the journey to doing what he loves, but also sharing it with all of you. I mentioned the project Interpreters. It is available through your favorite streaming platform. Of course, our partner is Amazon.com. But you can be able to watch it on the other platforms as well. And Wolfgang, how can our audience stay connected with you, man?
If they want to stay connected, they could find me on Instagram. Super easy to find. It's Wolfgang J. Weber, and also on Facebook, Wolfgang J. Weber. And if you want to chat, let me know. Any more questions? Yeah. I'm super excited to hear from everybody.
Well, Wolfgang, congratulations to you again. Congratulations on the addition to the family, and looking forward to staying connected with you, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, more than welcome. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying, as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live today. Let's make it a great one.